Hello and welcome back for our second match of the evening here in the ECC Season 8. We are going to the Champions Conference 2, where we have CrystaL Gaming versus The Storm. My name is still Machtfish, and I'm now joined by our partner from Rocket Sundays, the beautiful Herbie. How are you doing, mate?
Yeah, not too bad, other than a 3-0 sweep defeat in Division 4 earlier this evening. But, we get used to that over the course of the season. And very pleased to be here casting the Storm in this fixture after that 4-game series that ended in a victory for Big Iron in the previous one. And this is the first series for the Storm at Champions Conference level after their Division 1 success last season. So I'm very excited to see what they're capable of in this tier. They certainly work hard as a free.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And of course, opposing them is CrystaL Gaming, who have been here before. They have been playing Champs Div last season as well. Just going through the rosters really quick, we have the Storm consisting of Percy, Little Pace, and Bram, and CrystaL Gaming with Antu, I can't speak French, Relka Le Ducereux, Nashi, and Alex67. From Rocket Sundays, you know the Storm players quite a bit. What can you tell us about them? Like, how do you think they're going to approach this game?
Well, the three of them, they've been an identical roster for literally as long as we've known them now, over a year. And Bram doesn't play in Rocket Sundays, so I've not actually seen as much of them as Percy and Little Pace, who are always the 2v2 pairing that signs up under the Storm banner. But they're very in sync as a team. They always connect on lateral passing plays and very solid defensively as well. Little Pace has hit a couple of clips that are currently in the Rocket Sundays intro on streams. So very capable of scoring a spicy goal or two. But of course, the Champions Conference is that slight bit of increased pace as opposed to Division 1. And you mentioned CrystaL Gaming being the returning team and the much higher seeded team as well. But they had a bit of a disappointing run in the Vortex qualifiers. We casted their 3-0 sweep defeat against Noctis in the opening round of the winners bracket, and it didn't get much better for them in the lower bracket either. So I don't feel like they're really in form at the moment. Even though they might be the favourites on paper, the Storm definitely have a chance in this series.
I mean, that's the beautiful thing about champions. If like anything can happen on a good day, the players are just gonna go ham and trying to make anything stick that they can. They're trying to prove themselves, because at the end of the day, for Champions, if there is 50 euros of prize pool there, plus of course, if any of you donate to our Maturino page, this prize pool could be inflated a bit more. And you want to get to players, you want to make the top 4, and I think both teams are capable of it. It's going to be a bit more of a stretch for the Storm, but if they can connect on those passing plays you mentioned earlier, I think getting the details right is the most important thing. If they can do that, I think we're going to have a very, very spicy series. So what is your prediction for this one? Who do you see winning this one, and how many games?
Well, I want to believe that it's going to go to Game 5. We've seen a couple of very good matches so far in the top 2 divisions of the ECC. I got to cast a reverse sweep at Vortex level yesterday, and I just think the Storm will put some pressure on in this series and at least take it to Game 5. But I'm still going to go with CrystaL Gaming in Game 5.
Yeah, I think I'll have to agree with you on that one as well. I'm hoping, of course, for Game 5, but I think we're going to have a similar score like we had in the first game. So I'm predicting a 3-1 for CrystaL Gaming. But enough of the predictions, enough of the chit-chat. Let's get into the match, telling the players to join the teams. And we're getting ahead for a hopefully very good series of Rocket League. For the first kickoff, Herbie, take it away.
Yeah, first goal, massively important, especially in a series of this high caliber. The Storm take this kickoff, and Percy will look to go over the top immediately. Deflected away into the corner, and Little Pace is there, but that shot was too directed towards Relka, who will make the clear up to the halfway line. Looking central now, but Bram will have no trouble with that. There's a right to left passing play there, and Bram just misses on the connection. A couple of early chances for the Storm, but no breakthrough just yet.
No breakthrough just yet, but they are trying to keep on the pressure. Nashi using his own crossbar to help him clear that ball, but Bram is immediately on that one. Just gets it on the backboard, but the pressure is there. Now, for the first time, CrystaL Gaming being able to get out of their own half. Not for long though, but Relka can get it and gets a pinch mid. Littleface with great reaction there. The demo coming out from Relka against Bram clears up the pathway and blocks the vision, but not to a lot of success, as the ball is now back into the half of CrystaL Gaming, and Bram looking for Percy. He gets a block on it. Littleface trying to go up for it, can't get much on it. And two, looking for Relka, can't find the pass and the connecting clear. And now it's a lot of back and forth, not very measured gameplay, more of yeeting the ball forward and seeing what will stick, as there now is a pass from Percy to Bram, and two gets it off the backboard. 3:45 left, and the Storm looked a bit more aggressive side in this one.
Yeah, they've had the better chances so far for sure, and I'm going to put that down to game one jitters for CrystaL Gaming. They've got the ball forwards here though, might be an opportunity for them. Falls for Nashi. Oh, and Bram misses the save. It will be a race to the loose ball in the air, which Percy meets. Puts it up to the halfway line where Relka gets to it. On for Antu. They look for the free player passing play. Percy makes the interception, but it's coming straight back into the middle, and here's Nashi with the shot deflected away. Relka off the backboard. Percy makes this clearance, but the Storm rooted to their goal line at the moment. Nashi's going to put this one back in from the sidewall, and Littleface is there to clear it all the way up to the halfway line. Relka gets it back again in the direction of Littleface, who puts the shot on goal, hits the crossbar. Bram is there for the follow-up, but this one goes off the backboard as well. Still no goal here in the opening game.
Yes, still no goal here, but both teams showing some aggression, and especially the Storm being very, very quick to the loose balls and putting a lot of pressure onto CrystaL Gaming. It's really difficult for them to get out of their own half, as now Littleface just 50s Nashi very confidently, passes it down, but only Antu will be found. Gets a good 50 over Percy. Is a bit awkward. Can he use that boost? No, he can't. Relka will say thank you very much for that miss and puts it home. 1-0 now with half the game gone for CrystaL Gaming.
It's a slight breakdown in rotation there from the Storm, and on that 50 from Bram, Percy was just not ready to follow it up. Narrowly missed it in the air, but ultimately it was an easy tap-in for the player. CrystaL Gaming now right on the halfway point of game one. They have the lead. They're going to look to push for a quick second goal here. Antu breaks past one defender, looks to drag it past the second as well. Tipped in the direction of Nashi, who deflects their shot wider than that. Bram, with no boost, has to concede possession to Relka, who looked for the Doomsy dish but didn't get the contact they were hoping for. Pace now from the right wing to try and put it back into the centre. But Antu keeping the high line for CrystaL Gaming at the moment, as they make another interception on the halfway line, really cocooning the Storm in their own defensive third at the moment. Antu with the shot off the bar. Relka is there for the rebound, and it's 2-0.
Yeah, and another clean-up job from Relka. That's a great 50 against Littleface from Nashi. And then Antu gets it just over the crossbar so it doesn't bounce down, and forcing Littleface up because he thought that shot may as well be in. That's a very awkward read to make as a defender. And now there's a bit of an unorthodox kickoff coming out from Antu, and communication issues for the Storm. Bram and Littleface just driving into each other. Somehow they get out of that one alive, and still with possession. There's a ceiling pinch, and Percy with the dunk is the third man there. No, Bram is a bit too cautious, doesn't follow it very aggressively, and the CrystaL Gaming gets away with that one. The ball already half in their net, and somehow this is still 2-0 for them.
The Storm have struggled a little bit with their transitions in midfield, but when they've had the ball in the right end of the pitch, their shooting opportunities have been of a high quality. It has me thinking they are going to get goals at some point, but they're running out of time in game one of the series at the moment with just 1:15 to go. And CrystaL Gaming are on the attack for the time being. It's Nashi missing to the bottom right corner. Bram will be up there to try and make the interception on this one. Nashi gets it central, and the Storm thump it clear, but only to the team in blue. Littleface wins it back now. Bram's going to chase this ball down, really looking for that demo on Antu, but didn't manage it, and conceding possession again. CrystaL Gaming with a chance to score their third, but with no boost. Antu was never going to get too much power on that.
Yeah, and right now the deciding touches are just not in favor of the Storm, as they're sometimes just a bit too slow. Or we had that one catch from Littleface where he just couldn't control the ball properly, and CrystaL Gaming really awaiting those mistakes and just waiting for them to come out and capitalizing off of them. And right now Relka cutting rotation, looking for a player in mid. Antu is there, but the pass is not accurate enough to get to him. The same on the other side as well, as Nashi can intercept this pass from Percy to Bram. It's a lot of inaccurate plays right now, but CrystaL Gaming can string more successful passing plays together and more successful plays in general, as there's another whiff on the backboard. Nashi can get the shot, it's against the post, and there's again no follow-up from the third. He doesn't need to add 2-0 up with 0 seconds. You could just go for a third here as the ball touches the ground now. 2-0 for CrystaL Gaming in a very convincing game number 1.
It was a good performance for them, for sure. It felt like a bit of a disjointed first game of the series to me. For none of the 6 players, they rarely got the ideal contact on the ball they were looking for. And I think we can just put that down to being the first match of the season for both teams. Always tricky to find your rhythm, especially for the Storm in a new division. Only going down 2-0 in the first game of the series might be considered a decent result for them. They certainly had their shooting opportunities, and I think they can have some confidence going into the next one if they were to get that first goal.
Yeah, but I think that first goal is crucial because we've seen what the main difference is between Division 1 and the Champions Division here. It's just those tiny mistakes or a little bit of panic that the Storm had on defense was immediately capitalized off of by CrystaL Gaming, who just kept it very calm, very measured. And even when the ball was halfway in their net from that one great dunk from Percy, there were no double commits, no flying cars everywhere. There's just really, really good communication between the players. And I think that is what the Storm has to work on most in this game. Just getting their comms straight and making sure that you challenge fast and decisively to try and interrupt the CrystaL Gaming side.
Fast and decisive challenges is absolutely correct. One of the biggest takeaways that I've noticed from watching competitive 3v3 over the last couple of months, these higher divisions, it is all about that battle for mid boosts, both 100s on each side. Because once you've got those, you can begin to push up the pitch and sort of sit in the opposition third, bring up an offensive rotation, and that's where you can start to hammer away at the opposition net and try and generate some opportunities. The Storm very rarely had the opportunity to do that in the previous game. Most of their shots on target came from sort of one-man counter-attacks, but look at this! Bram over the top, Relka makes the save, Nashi just about keeps that one out. That was a big chance for the Storm, seemingly from nothing.
Yeah, out of thin air, just a banger from Bram all the way upfield, but now they're being tasked to work on defense again as there's Relka coming out from their own backboard to try and find a teammate in mid. That doesn't quite work out for him, but right now the Storm again a little bit more aggressive on offense, and the post denying them again, and Little Pace cutting off Bram there. Unfortunate again, a problem with communication. Bram needed to call Little Pace off there. He tried to with best intention to get a pass to him, but it just didn't work out, and that offensive chance was wasted. And now CrystaL Gaming are back on the offense with Nashi getting over one. Relka gets a 50 in the midfield, but the midfield presence, as you pointed out, that's just more CrystaL Gaming than the Storm right now.
Yeah, a good example of that was about 20 seconds or so ago, a clearance from Bram, but never mind. They generate a good chance here, and on the through ball from Little Pace, Percy was in the air to meet that one. And the Storm do have the first goal in this game, and it's come from a quick counter-attack. It's a nice one for them, but they're not going to be able to do that for the entire series.
No, a quick counter-attack, very good, very well executed from Percy and Little Pace. Just good accuracy on the ball, good power on that pass to get it to his teammate. But those breakaways, they can be a very effective weapon, but they shouldn't be the only weapon they use in their offensive arsenal. Because with CrystaL Gaming, with what they have shown, is that there are not going to be that many breakaway opportunities. As now there's a demo coming up, a bump attempt coming up from Nashi, and Relka puts it back post. Bram rotated, no, not Bram. I think it was Little Pace rotated too far into the net. And just didn't stay back post enough, and the shot is behind him. No chance of saving that one if you're too far upfield, and it's already equalized.
Yeah, maybe a tad unlucky for the Storm there to concede that one. Bram was near it, but ultimately not near enough, and that comes as a result of this sustained pressure that we're seeing from CrystaL Gaming. It's very much two different styles of gameplay that we're seeing from both of these teams at the moment. Bram launches this one into the opposite corner, and the Storm will chase it down. Little Pace is onto this, can only get a demo on Nashi. Bram keeps it in for the time being. Little Pace looking for the redirect. Bram continues to maintain possession, doing good work for the Storm at the moment, and Percy helps this one on. Off the ceiling, this is going to fall nicely for Nashi to try and shoot from that angle. Ultimately too high up. Pace had an easy save to make. The Storm get it back in the offensive third again, looking to put some pressure on now. It is Bram once again, really turning the screw for their team at the moment, but no goal to show for it yet.
No goal to show for it, but you said there's a little bit of a different approach to the game where CrystaL Gaming is trying to be a bit more of the conservative, not conservative, but conventional, try to get pressure and maintain pressure to wear the opposition down, whereas the Storm seem to be playing a bit more of a hit and run play style, but it doesn't work out for them as the pressure now coming out from CrystaL Gaming and two with a great dump on the backboard and a good pass. Nashi being there in the air to put it home under the defender, and that's the lead in game number 2 for CrystaL Gaming.
And there are still 2 minutes to go, so the Storm not out of this one yet, but it is still CrystaL Gaming's game to lose in this one, you feel. Little Pace trying to change that with a flick through midfield, gives the ball away to Relka, up top with the shot, and Bram gets this one away to the corner, and two straight back into the middle. Pace deflects that one away. It will remain in the hands of CrystaL Gaming for the time being, and they look for the alley-oop in the centre. Nothing doing on that play, so it's going to be Antu to take over. Coming under massive pressure from Little Pace there. Bram will win it back again, but just launches it forward and maybe should have been looking for a teammate there. That feels like a summary of what's going wrong for the Storm at the moment.
Yeah, just gifting the ball to their opponents, who just very happy to take their times on those long clears and to look out for one another. As now here Antu calls off Nashi and gets a great shot, top pins, and that's a 3-1 lead for CrystaL Gaming.
Oh, a very spicy shot there, straight into that top right corner. That's near unsavable. Percy almost reached it, not quite. With placement like that, it was always going to be tricky. And now a 2-goal advantage here with 1:16 to go. CrystaL Gaming looking very good to go 2-0 up in this series, but they blow possession away from this kickoff. Is this a chance for the Storm to capitalise? Percy looking infield for Little Pace, but Relka takes it back, forcing Bram into a defensive clearance.
Yeah, and Antu there with a very crucial bump on Little Pace actually in the midfield to hinder his progress upfield and to the ball. And now they're being caught on defense yet again. Bram has to make the read, does so, and it's only as far as Antu. But Percy cuts out his touch. Now Bram looking for Little Pace. The pass not very accurate, but he gets the clear on Relka. And now there's a rare whiff coming out from Relka and CrystaL Gaming, and the quick capitalization of the Storm. It's only 1 goal apart from these two teams in 40 seconds.
Yeah, big plays there from the Storm, and that's a highlight of the quality of both of these teams. Sometimes it's easy to forget that both teams really do belong in the Champions Conference when one team has the run of play, but the Storm is still very much capable of capitalising on those mistakes. Now there's just 1 goal in it, and they have the ball where they want it. Up in, off the ceiling, Percy looking to dunk that one down on Relka. Very tricky interception attempt to make there. Put back into midfield from Antu, and here it goes in the other direction. Off the crossbar, looking for the double tap. Percy gets this one away into the corner. Little Pace to follow it up. Launches over to the opposite side of the field. Coming under some pressure here, Antu putting the ball away. Nashi will get it back in the back right corner with 10 seconds to go.
Yeah, and with that one, they're trying to carry it forward now. Little Pace trying to keep it up, but Nashi very smartly just keeping it high, wasting time, and now it's 0 seconds. The ball has to be kept in the air, but they can't do it. CrystaL Gaming go 2-0 up in the series, and what do the Storm have to do to combat that loss?
It is another measured performance from CrystaL Gaming. They're doing everything right at the moment. Their defence was solid for a majority of that game. The one defensive whiff nearly let the Storm back into it, but ultimately they held on for that 1-goal victory. And for the Storm, it's the same errors that plagued them in the first game of the series, really. Not much possession in those midfield areas. They scored a very good goal on the counter-attack, but as I mentioned at the time, they can't be relying on that for the duration of the series. I think they just need to work on trying to dribble it out of their own defensive third a little more instead of just handing possession back to the other team. Look for your teammates on the left and right wings and try and generate something by keeping the ball close to your cars.
Now, I think the crucial player here for the Storm is Little Pace, because he's been positioning himself very aggressively, looking out for those passes, but the passes never came, and as a result, he was just caught upfield when he really wasn't meant to be. So, but at the same time, I say it's crucial in two directions, because whenever he's going back to defense and trying to help out his team, he's a bit impatient on the back post, needs to be staying more into his position, sticking more to it, and that will take a lot of the hectic defending that's happening right now for the Storm. Will take that away if you're just patient on the back post, as there's a great play now from CrystaL Gaming. Relka and Antu connect with one another, but the third man flies in and takes that shot away. That's a wasted opportunity at the start of game number 3.
And the double demo in midfield frees up possession there for Little Pace to take it on again. But once again, demoed for their troubles, so it's going to be Relka in their own end. About to come under some pressure from Bram, who wins the 50 up in the air. Antu meets the race to that loose ball and continues on. It's a 2-on-1 going the other way for CrystaL Gaming, but Antu had run out of boost and couldn't take it any further than that. Percy now up in the air, dragging it over the halfway line and dropping it to the ground. Little Pace looking for the crossover passing play. Falls for Bram now to win it back off the ceiling. This could be very dangerous here, and so close to the first goal of the game for the Storm, but it remains 0-0.
Yeah, that was a really good opportunity. Little Pace with the unfortunate miss on the backboard, but then he, recovering from it, he gets the dunk on the defender. As now CrystaL Gaming, a lot of double commits coming out from their side. We haven't seen those, but Nashi just gets the speed. Antu baiting out the defenders from the goal line, thinking it's safe to push, but Nashi says, thank you very much for that diversion. I'll take the shot now. And Little Pace being caught too far upfield, pushing out too early, didn't jump, didn't expect the shot and didn't jump. And that's 1-0 lead, an early 1-0 lead for CrystaL Gaming.
Yeah, the sense that I get from the first two games and now into the first minute of this game is the Storm just not quite on the pace of CrystaL Gaming, and that is another example of it as they double their advantage. Relka with the pass in from the right wing, and Percy was just a little slow to react to that. It forced Bram to come off his goal line, and Nashi was there to capitalise for a 2-goal advantage here in a game that can win CrystaL Gaming the series.
Yeah, and I think Percy just being a bit awkward there was sort of caught in two minds between taking the boost and just going right forward. He just stopped and considers his option, but he didn't have the time to stop and consider those options. That's one example of just being not decisive enough, but there's a great bump coming out from Percy early up and just recovering for a potential misread, but Relka takes it past 2. Now Nashi takes it over, has the pass option in the middle, but gets demoed from Bram. That's a good demo that Bram has put out there to buy themselves a bit more time on defense.
Antu looking infield perhaps for Nashi. Percy wins it back, but Relka pushing high up the field there on the halfway line, ready to win possession back for CrystaL Gaming. Another example of their successful attacking rotation that they've got going so far in this game. Percy for Little Pace, but there's no third man up there. Bram is rooted to the goal line instead. Relka to take the shot, directs it wide of the net. Nashi has a quick second there to try and turn that one central again. Antu makes the block on the halfway line to halt the Storm's progress for now. Percy does very well to get the ball over the top of Relka. They've got a little bit of an inch down the right wing now, but immediately smothered by Nashi. Bram with the shot here, that one's not troubling the goaltenders. Antu to try and get up to intercept this one, and does so. Percy still gets it infield though, looking for Little Pace. Bram to follow it up next, but CrystaL Gaming get the better of the 50s. Relka to try and cut inside, and Nashi missed on the shot. Antu to follow it up this time. No goals for CrystaL Gaming, but they maintain this 2-goal advantage, a very favourable position.
Yeah, and that's all they need to do realistically. They just need to maintain this advantage, and anytime they have an attack and don't score, it's not that big of a deal, because in effect they're just wasting time that the Storm is slowly but surely running out of, with only 150 left on the clock right now. So I'm thinking that CrystaL Gaming is very content just keeping the ball high and loose in the corner, where they know they can beat any defender coming for it. And as you often see, offense is the best defense, as Bram has a clear shot but misses it. That was the golden opportunity to get back into this game 3, and it's just wasted. Very unfortunate. But Little Pace, and again to Bram, he just couldn't get the shot on target twice. Now that's very, very difficult to see here.
2 chances go back in there for Bram, and I think if you're going to win games at Champions Conference level, you just have to be burying those opportunities. They've still got enough time to get back into this, and they look for Little Pace off the sidewall. Relka is up there to make this clearance, and Bram may have another crack at it, but is forced into the more defensive cut to the right. Antu with the shot here. Little Pace makes the save on that one. Percy sweeps it forwards again, looking for the redirect towards the middle. It's off the backboard. Anyone to meet this? Only Relka for CrystaL Gaming, as they still defend their 2-goal lead. The Storm are beginning to apply pressure a little bit, but the team in blue still look pretty comfortable on defense.
Yeah, I think they're trying to get the pressure, but even with the triple commit as we had it here, there was no one really from the Storm up to capitalize over that one, as there's the team pinch coming up. Now Bram going off the ceiling for some reason, trying to get it to his teammate, but Percy cuts it behind one, gets a good 50. Nashi on the backboard with a miss. Little Pace fakes out Bram. That's the communication problem. Little Pace should have left it for Bram. Bram should have called him off there. He had the clean path to it. And again, those tiny mistakes just cost the Storm very dearly.
It's a great save there from Little Pace. They're going to get the ball back on the right wing again. Blocked aside by Relka, and the demo on Little Pace will seal the deal in this series. CrystaL Gaming take a 3-0 sweep victory over the newly promoted Storm. They have certainly presented their credentials for being competitive in this Champions Conference.
Yeah, they definitely showed what they're made of, but it has also shown what the difference is between Division 1 and the Champions Division. CrystaL Gaming just clinical in their approach, reading what the Storm was doing most of the time, and just didn't allow them any midfield presence, and that was ultimately broke the camel's back, I feel like. So a very, very deserved win for CrystaL Gaming.
I think for the Storm, they're still a newly promoted team in the Champions Conference. I don't think this singular defeat will be totally game-breaking for them. I think their project will span multiple seasons. I think their aim for the Champions Conference has just got to be to remain in the division this season, then push on in the next one and try and finish in a higher position. So I think this will be a bit of a wake-up call for them. They'll have learned some things about the speed at this level, and hopefully they can come back in the next match with some different tactical adjustments.
Yeah, and especially what you mentioned, the speed. I think that's, if they do an analysis of that series, I think that is what they have to focus on. Just the quick and decisive actions that are needed at this level, and that have been executed quite brilliantly by CrystaL Gaming, but have been lacking a bit. I think what they're taking away is just quick transitions are working for them. Like, they had some very, very dangerous transitional plays, but now it's about getting the pressure, getting the ball into the opponent's half for like 45 seconds, a minute, and just controlling those midfield boosts, because without them, you can't do really much in the way of maintaining that pressure.
Yeah, so that's it from us for this evening. But before we head out, we just want to give a quick shout out to our sponsor, Godalians, and their partners, Fruit Lab. Be sure to check out their awesome content creation website with the Fruit Lab command in the chat. It rewards creators from day one. But 2 matches tonight, a 3-1 win for Big Iron in the Vortex, and a 3-0 sweep victory for CrystaL Gaming. It was a good stream.
Yeah, it was really funny, really enjoyable to cast both series, and this one as well with you. Now we must end it here, but if you do want to join the action, of course, ECC Season 8 has just started. You can join our Discord at any time and get involved. Just be part of the community. Go to our Discord and just watch the brilliant Rocket League action here on our Twitch. And if you want to contribute, like Godalians and Fruit Lab have, to our prize pool, go to the Match Arena page, where you can donate 50 cents for free by typing in the code ECC8. And you can do a lot of sponsor quests as well to get this prize pool even higher, because for those teams in the Champions Conference and in the Vortex, there is a prize pool, 200 euros for the winner of the Vortex, 100 euros for the second place of the Vortex, and 50 euros for the winner of the Champions Conference. So yeah, get involved, go on the Discord, donate to the Match Arena, and we'll see you on the next stream. Take care and